Hello everyone, it's Skyee here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we are going to be continuing in our September color along. This is going to be part 4. If you haven't watched the previous parts, definitely go do so. We've gotten some amazing progress done and I'm excited to continue. So our channel members got to vote between artists and then books and then pages. So they chose Hannah Lynn. And then they chose Mythical Maidens and Curious Creatures. The page they chose was Willow Dryad, and this is what we have done, and I cannot wait to dive in and continue on her. It's just looking amazing now, way better than I had anticipated, and I am just so excited to see that final result. I'm going to put my pieces of paper just in behind the page that we're working on, just to protect the tooth of the pages in behind this one. So I'm kind of back-to-back recording. The boys and I, after recording part 3, the boys and I went for a walk, and then we got some lunch and watched a movie. It's a little bit later in the evening now, so I do have my artificial light going, so the light might not be as good as it was in part 3, but hopefully it's sufficient enough. I haven't really had any epiphanies about color, so a little bit thrown off for that. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do the rest of the pink accents since we have our pinks picked out. And then I do think that this little bush here, since it's just like a small one and it's at the bottom, just to balance out this color here, I think I'm going to do this color down in the bush. These little spots here, I'm going to kind of color as flowers, so those will be pink. So it'll kind of tie into the pink and green at the top. It'll help balance that out. And then I do have a color combination picked for the vines around her that I'm a little bit unsure of. It might change. We'll just kind of have to wing it and see. I am just going to grab my water because I forgot that. And then we are going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so I've got my water, we've zoomed in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to start on this bush here with the green. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to start in with our espresso. So let's first go in and we're just going to pick out some shadows. So I'm going to put a little bit of shadow here because it looks like this piece of the bush is coming out from behind this one. So we want to kind of shadow that up a little bit. And then I'm just going to kind of randomly place some other little shadows. So alongside the top part of this, add some shadow to that. I'm just going to kind of create a little bit of a shadow just along the whole outer edge of this too. My reasoning for that is because we kind of did it with the trees to create kind of like a vignette kind of look. So I do want to kind of maybe bring that in down here as well. So just along the bottom, we'll add in some more. I'm not too sure about this cluster here. Let me just look up a reference. Not everybody, actually nobody that I picked as a reference did these as berries that I can see. So just kind of do this little bit as shadow. I mean, it definitely doesn't look like berries, but we're gonna kind of turn it into berries anyways. add just a little bit of it just along this one here too. All right, moss green is next, so that's going to go in over top of our espresso, and then we're also going to blend it out a little bit. I'm just going to move my paper back a little bit because it's starting to slide out. Okay, and lastly we're on to our lime peel. And that one's pretty straightforward. We're just going to add it in here and blend it into the shadows as well. All right, let's come in with the Process Red, and I'm gonna give this a little bit of a sharpen. We're gonna want some pretty sharp pencils since we're working with some very small details here. So on these bigger ones, I'm gonna add a little bit of the Process Red, and some of these smaller ones I'm just gonna color in directly. So maybe let's color that one in. Color that one in. Okay, I think that's all right there. Let's see, this little bit here, I think is supposed to be part of the bush. I didn't quite color that in, I missed it, so I'm just gonna use my line peel to color that in. Next is the hot pink. So I'm just gonna pull this up a little bit from the Process Red where I can. And some of these smaller ones, like here and here, I'm just gonna color in just with the hot pink. And Deco Peach is next, so same thing. Any of these other little smaller dots that are left, they're gonna get colored in with the Deco Peach, and then everything else, I'm just gonna kind of add this in and burnish it. And there, that looks really pretty. Okay, so next let's move up to the flowers on her waist. So back in with the Process Red. Let's see, we got this flower here. I'm just gonna kind of go in the middle with the Process Red and then fade out. So let's see, we got a flower there. This is a flower. I was gonna say butterfly, it could be. I think it's a flower. Flower here. This one's a flower. Flower here. And here, I think that's it. There's no flower up there. Hot pink is next. We're just going to bring this out a little bit further and then fade it out and leave room for our lightest color. And then lightest color is the Deco Peach, so let's add this in here. I'm not going to burnish with this. I think we're going to throw the sky blue light in on this one as well. Kind of make it match her hair a little bit. So now that we have the pink parts done, I think I'm actually gonna just go over all of this with here. This is pretty much burnished, but I'm gonna go over all of these little pink bits with it anyways. But yeah, now that the pink bits are done, we can kind of decide if the pink accents we have is enough or if we want to add more. Because I'm still kind of debating the mushrooms. The spots on the mushrooms might look cute pink, but I don't want to add too much because I want the pink mostly to be focused on her. I think maybe I should have even maybe left these berries alone and like done them as like normal bush and kept the pink just completely on her. We can always go over this with white and turn them into white berries later on though if we decide to, so that's kind of why I figured that I would color them pink now, because white is the other option that I was kind of leaning towards. So where do we go from here? The combination that I'm kind of debating on for the vines on her is one that's not really gonna be anywhere else in the picture. I'm realistically only adding a couple new colors, potentially not even new colors depending on what colors I decide to do these bushes. I think I'm gonna go for it. Let's see if I can find So this is the combination that I'm going for here. I wonder if we should maybe make it a little bit darker though. I think we need a little bit of a darker shadow. I don't think this is going to be enough. And I think I might leave the aquamarine out because as much as I love this combination, I just feel like the aquamarine kind of goes with the light aqua, but it's like very well matched with the parrot green. I feel like it doesn't really, I don't know, I don't think it'll go with what I'm trying to do here. So I'm gonna take the aquamarine out. We have used that one before, so I'm just gonna put that there. And I'm gonna grab that blue that we used before, the indigo blue. So we are still going to start with the parrot green. We might not even use the light aqua. I think we might skip that one too, actually. So let's do parrot green kind of on the edges here. I think I want the vines themselves to be rather dark. So I'm going to go in with the parrot green on those. I'm not going to burnish at all. I'm just going to put a layer over that. Let's kind of tackle this top one and see what happens. We've got the parrot green. Let's sharpen up our indigo blue and go in with that. It's a little bit on the edges. Let's go back in with the parrot green and just bring it out a little bit more with these ones. That does look really pretty. And then light green. This isn't fully burnished, but it's burnished enough that the white specks aren't noticeable. But I'm not going to fully burnish this just in case I want to change the color up a little bit. If I don't like this at the end, I can bring in a yellow and turn this into more of a yellowed green. I think I'm gonna like this though. I'm just going to get rid of the light aqua swatch as well so I don't accidentally include that unless we do actually use it. So now we're gonna follow suit for the rest of this. Let's go in on the vine. We're going to add a little bit to this on the base of each leaf. See, I think this is like a green that you don't usually find in nature, so it kind of helps with that whimsical, magical look of her. So the pink hair and then this really pretty, unnatural, greeny blue vines. I mean, this might be in nature, but it's probably uncommon. I think that will help make her a little bit more magical, and then I think the background and stuff will probably be pretty realistic in color wise, which will make her stand out. So that's the goal. We'll see if it actually turns out that way, but that's what I'm hoping for. And I guess that's pending on whether we do add pink to the mushrooms or not, which I'm still undecided on. think this little piece here is the vine kind of coming around. So I'm just gonna, that's what I'm gonna color it as anyways. Okay, time for the indigo blue. Sorry about the wind, it is very windy outside today. Okay, I don't know if we actually need to, but since we did on the top one, let's just go ahead and bring Parrot Green out again. I'm just gonna make it come out a little bit further than the indigo blue that we added. So even leaving it like this, it would look really pretty. It's one thing that I would like to work on too, is embracing the white of the page, not needing to feel like I have to color every single aspect in order for the page to look colored. But I'll work on that another day. Oh, sorry. Light green. I'm sure you guys noticed, hopefully. trying to decide if I would want to put stickles anywhere on this page, and I don't think so. Since we're gonna do that like whimsical sparkly bit, I don't really think I would put actual sparkles anywhere. But we'll see. I know I've said that before and then we've added sparkles. So hard to say. Super pretty. All right. I'm having a hard time deciding if I want a lighter foreground or a darker foreground. Like, I want these bushes to be quite different. So I feel like this is more like grass almost, and this is like bush. I think I'm leaning towards like a lighter grass. I still want to do like a yellowish colored grass, but I don't want to go too dark. Let's see here. Okay, I think I got it figured. So let's start in with our apple green. So this for the most part is going to be our shadow color. I'm going to be doing this a little bit fast because I want this really messy looking grass. So yeah, no rhyme or reason. We're just diving in. We're going quick. There is rhyme or reason though. I'm going to go on the tops of these to create a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to fade it out. And we're just going to continue doing that for now. Paper's running away again. Kind of created this hard spot here, which I didn't really want, but we're going to work around anyways. We'll just make that a little bit darker than intended. I don't know. I feel like we should have a shadow under the roots. Since we have a shadow above the roots, I don't know, maybe a darker shadow, but we're going to go in with the apple green anyways for now. And then I guess it's kind of like up to us to decide whether, you know, this root is sticking up off the ground or if it's just going like backwards along the grass. To me, it's sticking up. So I don't think I'm going to add a shadow around that. I think I'm going to just kind of leave it as is. So let's see, we'll have shadow along the grass here. We're going to have shadow on this side as well as this side. It's basically just shadows everywhere. fade these out. Same thing here, so shadow here. This, I imagine, is kind of coming up a little bit, so we don't really have to have too much of a shadow on top. Willow. Okay, I do imagine there's going to be a shadow kind of underneath it though. This I'm just going to color in with the apple green. This isn't our darkest color. I'm just kind of basing our shadows here. This isn't even our second darkest color. This is actually our third darkest. This, I don't know. I think shadow here. Don't know if I want shadow on this side. I'm not really following any lighting rules here. None of this really makes sense. Let's come back to that, but shadow on this side for sure. So this, there would be a shadow on both sides, I believe. Shadow underneath these roots. Excuse you. I'm gonna shadow all along the bottom here for that whole thingette kind of thing we got going on. Which means we're gonna have a shadow here too. So kind of along the edges. I like the look it's creating so far. Probably should have shadowed these. I still can. I probably will. I like the look that it's kind of giving. Okay, so this I do think I'm gonna shadow in here. And then this, I guess we have to decide if this is part of this bush or if it's part of the grass. It kind of looks different than both, so I'm not really sure. See, a lot of these guys use the same colors for both, so. It's like, this actually looks like bush. It's got these lines, these little like puffy things. This has nothing, it's just solid. It's got a little bit of a line here indicating that this kind of comes down into here, but that's it. And then this back here almost looks more like the grass than the bush. And then again, this here has nothing. Well, if we leave it like this looks almost pretty straight across, and I don't know if I like the looks of that. And then this is kind of tucked in behind the trees, so okay, this is not gonna really make sense, but we're gonna do this as the grass, I guess. Why not? Might make it like a little bit darker than the grass. So it'll be like grass colors, but we'll make it a little bit darker than the grass to kind of separate it a little bit, I guess. I don't know what is mushroom here and what isn't. Okay, so back here. It looks like this kind of comes down and up, I guess, which meets there. Okay. Or, oh yeah, because it comes out in front of the trunk. Whatever, we'll do it as this color too. I'm a little bit confused. Overthinking it, I think. Should make sure all of this is in frame. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we are, thank you, Miko, you brought. We are going to come in with the espresso and we are going to darken some of this up. So I think to help kind of separate this from the grass, I'm going to darken this up quite a bit coming out. So we're going to add a nice decent shadow. Okay, so it's not going to separate the grass altogether because we are actually going to have the espresso in the grass a little bit. So I want to create some pretty strong shadows underneath these tree trunks, legs, whatever you want to call them. Planning on using the dark green in here too, but now I don't know. I kind of like just the espresso, but maybe a good way to use the dark green in here is alongside with the shadow maybe. Let's try adding this in just where we want like the deepest shadows. See what happens here. Don't exactly know what I'm doing here. I'm just winging it. I'm all over the place. Ugh, this is hard. What do we do, Miko? What do we do? You're not helpful. Just stares at me like, Mom, you're starving me. I assure you I'm not, but I'm sure that's what she's thinking. Excuse you? No. No, 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 no. You cannot come up. You brat. We're just gonna keep adding colors and layering until we're happy with it, because I don't know what else to do. feel like with the espresso and the dark green, it is definitely dark enough. I don't know how far to bring it out. Okay, I do really like the look of the espresso in with this green, so I think I'm going to use this as my darkest shadow in the lighter areas, and then I'm going to use a mix of this and the dark green like I have in here for my darker areas. And that should help create some contrast in the grass. It'll make it look interesting. Hopefully, that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Might backfire. Who knows? Let's focus on this side first. And then we can kind of go from there. I think I actually kind of like how this is looking. I don't think I'm going to make this one different. I think I'm going to kind of keep it the same as the grass. It's all good. It'll work out good. Okay. Don't think I want to make this too dark, so let's come back in with our apple green. Do little small circles coming out from the shadows. I don't think I want to fully burnish this. I think having a little bit of that white texture showing through might be beneficial. If it doesn't look good, then we can always go back over it and get rid of it. So we're just not going to fully burnish. We're going to add this into our shadows. Bring it out a little ways. We're going to try and leave highlights where we can, unless we don't want them. Like this one, I think I'm just going to color this in with the apple green. This one too, kind of coming up here, I think. I like that. I'm actually a little bit worried about adding the spring green now. I wonder if this is too much of a bright color it'll ruin the natural look of this. I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't know. Gonna see what happens, I guess. Yeah, definitely liking this green showing through. It's one of those few times where copy paper helps us. It's nice when it happens. Yeah, I'm actually pretty nervous about that spring green. I don't know if I want to risk it. I really like how this is looking, but I don't know what color I would use instead. I don't know if I would want to go up all the way with the apple green. I think that might be too much. This, I want darker. I meant to go back over this with the dark green. Let's do that. Let's go back over it with the espresso. Yeah, and then also with the espresso, let's create our vignette for the tree. I know it's not the tree color, but it should still work. Don't know if I like that actually. Let's grab, this isn't going to be included in the colors, but I'm just going to grab the 90% French gray and I'm going to throw this a little bit in there, and then I'm going to grab the 30% and blend it out. That's 50, 30. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. Yeah, I like that. Let's grab our spring green. Let's see what happens here. Let's just lightly go over. Very, very lightly. It's very similar to the apple green actually. I'm sure if I pressed a little bit harder, it would be like a very vibrant version of the apple green. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly go over everything. And then we're going to add more of the apple green because I like that one. Okay, so apple green. Let's add some more of this. I'm just gonna see if Rain snuck home through the other way. He went out to grab some pop, but he's not back yet. I feel like he should be. He's not back yet, unfortunately. It's making me a little bit nervous. I don't know why. I just like have this feeling. It's just anxiety. I'm sure he's fine. Okay, I think I'm actually going to skip the chartreuse as well. So I'm going to get rid of that one. I am going to use the gray-green light though, and I'm going to sharpen and clean mine off because last time I used this, it looked like I used it with a blue, kind of like this color probably. I don't want to muck my grass up with that. Okay, so I don't want to go too heavy pressure with this one because this one will kind of burnish a little bit easier and get rid of that speckled look that I like. It'll kind of smudge it. This is a good smudging pencil. We don't want that. So I'm mostly just going to focus on the very tips of the grass, kind of where it's quite a bit lighter. I'm not going to worry too much about blending at all. We don't need to worry about that. We just want to get this color in on some of these areas. This looks so pretty. Okay, I do think one thing that I'm going to do is I am going to add the dark green a little bit in here. I'm not going to add a lot, just a little bit in some of these spots just to create a little bit of darker shadows. Kind of help tie it in with the rest of it because now we have it looking the same. So yeah, that's better. It's very subtle, but it's noticeable. Okay, so now we're going to do the same steps on this side. So in with our espresso, let's just darken up a few of these areas here. It won't take as long now that we actually know what we're doing, kind of. Meeks, are you that hungry, baby? She's licking her bowl clean. I haven't even fed her since this morning. She's so cute. I really, really hope that her increased appetite is a good sign because I feel like she hardly ate before. So this is definitely something new that I've noticed. She's gonna get chunky, which would look cute because she's so small. I almost want to text Rain, but I don't know if he'd even have his phone with him. I caved, I texted him. I don't know if he has his phone, but hopefully. I never know whether it's just anxiety or like a gut feeling. It's one of the crappy parts of having anxiety. It's really hard to distinguish the two. Okay, we're going to darken this side up here. Okay, let's go in with our, oh, where's the swatch for? Dark green. Let's add a little bit more espresso. Just kind of building up those layers like we did on the other side. We are still in frame, right? Yes. Okay, let's go in with our apple green. Okay, I think that's good enough for the apple green. So same as before, we're just gonna lightly go over all of this with our spring green. Well, not really all of it, but the lighter areas. All right, and then gray, green, light. We'll just go in all these lighter areas. And again, we're not pushing super hard. We're not trying to burnish. We want to keep that white speckle look, but we do want to add this color into the highlights. Rain just texted me. Okay, he's good. All right, here's how she's looking now. We don't have too far to go. I cannot wait to get her finished. I am actually going to back-to-back record. I want to get her done. Since I accidentally messed up in part 3, this is part 4, right? 1, 2. Yeah, this is part 4. Yeah, since I accidentally messed up in part 3, and it's gonna be longer than it should have been because I totally forgot that I had began recording, and then I stopped to get a little video of Lilo because she was being cute, and then I started again and went by the time on that video, so oops. Since I messed up on that, we don't really have a whole lot left. We literally just have the mushrooms and the bushes and then any final details, and that's it. I am so excited. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm going to back-to-back record. I'm going to get this done because I would love to be able to have this out in time for our channel members to get their access to it a week early. So I feel pretty proud of myself about the progress that I've made in such a short amount of time. But yeah, that is it for part 4. I hope you guys are enjoying so far, and I really hope to see you in part 5 where we finally finish her. If you guys are enjoying these videos, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It really helps me and the channel out. I'd really appreciate it. And I think that's it. As always, take care, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!